Hey there, everybody. This is Bryan Ewald, and I'm here at the PRS factory in Stevensville, Maryland, and I'm joined by Colin McAllister. We're both holding some Hollowbody IIs. We're going to talk and play a little bit and talk about how we each use these live. Colin, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I'm Colin McAllister, guitarist, obviously. I do a lot of classical guitar, do a lot of jazz and fusion guitar, and I should say I've been a big fan of Paul Reed Smith guitars for 30 years. This is my first time ever here in the factory, so I really appreciate you inviting me, Bryan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for making it out. So why don't you tell me, how long have you had the Hollowbody II?
So not that long, actually. I've had this for maybe 3 months or so. Been playing around with it in a variety of both live and session work, and just really enjoying the instrument. You know, since I primarily have been trained as a classical guitarist, I'm so dependent on the feel of the instrument and feeling it vibrate against my body. And
sure.
So playing electric guitar, I was playing big hollow body jazz boxes for a long time, and I wanted something that was a little more versatile and they would handle effects better, would handle distortion better, and so forth.
Right.
And it just kind of naturally led me to this guitar. I love the way it resonates like a much bigger guitar.
Yeah. So I've used the Hollowbody I for many years and a P245, which all have the very same setup as far as the electronics and the output. The Hollowbody II, the difference with that is that it also has the carved maple back, where the Hollowbody I was all mahogany. That's a gorgeous guitar you have there.
It's pretty to look at. Yeah.
Is the back
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow, yeah. It's a shame that's hidden all the time, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, no, it's. Well, people standing behind you, they get to see it during the gig, and they say, "Hey, pull that away from your body, and let me take a look at how that looks."
So, as we were chatting earlier, we realized that we both kind of use the pickup system in two kind of distinct different ways, which is what I love about these with the double output, the piezo and the magnetic pickups. There's so many different ways you can use it. You're using it primarily just with a single output, where you're using the piezo to kind of enhance your electric tone, and I often split the outputs to use it as more of a pure acoustic sound and a pure electric sound, where it really sounds like two different guitars in a live situation. Are you using the piezo even when you're using some overdrive and distortion too?
Sometimes I do. Yeah, I just like I say, I'm much newer to this instrument, but I really enjoy just if I'm playing through an amp. So here's the sound. I've got this in the middle configuration here, so I'm sending a single output using this knob here to blend in the volume of the pickups, and then this knob here will blend in the volume of the piezo. And so what I like to have is just, say I'm playing with a clean tone, and I want to blend in a little of this piezo to just give it, to me it gives it a little more of a shimmering sound. It's like blending that acoustic a little. So here's just probably something like this is a typical.
Yeah.
And I just love that shimmering sound. So I'd say most of the time this is kind of playing around with blending that.
Absolutely. And it sounds to me like you might have your tone knob on the magnetics rolled back a little bit.
I do, yeah.
As many jazz, players.
Exactly. I usually, that's my main bread and butter is playing in a jazz sextet, and so to blend with the horns a little bit, I usually roll this off a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so it gives you a totally different top end. If you had that all the way up, you would have more top end.
Right.
But it's very different than the top end that piezo will add to it, which sits to me way on top. In a different way, which, again, just cuts through the mix differently.
It does, and I think that's one of the things that I really love about the guitar as well, is I feel like it really cuts through. It's just fantastic as a blending instrument with so many options here. And now I'm going to learn some tricks from you about plugging both of them in, so maybe I'll be able to use that in my own performances.
So I run, the first output straight into, my electric rig the way you would, whether it's straight into the amp or through a pedal board, however you want to do it. The second output, for gigs, I'll run it into a DI straight to the PA. For the demo here, we're running a DI straight into the computer interface. I've had great luck plugging it into just a powered speaker, a keyboard amp, and really anything. A guitar signal is inherently lo-fi. There's no high frequency driver in a guitar amp. So a lot of that top end is muted on purpose. With an acoustic guitar sound, you want full range. So you want something with a tweeter. Any full range system works really well with it. So like, for example, here, if I can be pure electric, pure acoustic, or in the middle, both. And I can use individual volumes to blend any amount. In some gigs, I use it purely as if I'm playing two different guitars, so I can play an acoustic guitar for the primary part of the song, but if the chorus comes in and needs the electric, I can switch and have a dramatic effect from one guitar to the other.
Right.
Often I'll use them blended the way you do, but instead of blending it into one amp, it's blended where the acoustic sounds like two guitar players doubling, or just adding, again, a different dimension to your clean sound. So yeah, there's a lot of variety. You know, it seems daunting at first with the amount of switches, but really, I love the way you can really use it as quickly all or nothing with the toggle switch, if you leave them both up and it's electric, acoustic, or both, or leaving in the middle and just using these two knobs kind of to blend a taste, which is probably where I am most of the time. So let's do a little bit more playing, and real quick, why don't you tell everybody about that song we played at the top of the video?
Yeah, so you know, Brian, this is a tune that, from a collection of tunes, everything we're playing today, are tunes that I wrote for this new upcoming course that was produced by the Great Courses. It's called Playing Like a Pro. And so what I wanted to do for this course was to write tunes that were inspired by some of my favorite guitarists.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And as you could probably guess, that tune that we just played called Blue 13 was inspired by the great Wes Montgomery. Nice C minor blues with an octave melody and so forth.
Do you want to play something quick to kind of show off just the pure acoustic sounds of the
Sure,
guitar?
I think that'd be a great thing to do. Why don't we do, I've got a bluegrass tune called Gog Magog.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's do it.